and I hit generate, and it just uses its own intelligence, its Adobe intelligence to fill in that area, and I promise you it's gonna look halfway decent. If it's not, you can always there's no penalty for
Wow.
trying it multiple times. But yeah, there you go. So there's 1, 2, 3 options there.
Wow.
I could run this as many times as I want, and it doesn't matter. Now let's remove that gavel because that's stupid. So I'm gonna select it like that. And that's the
That
thing is like
that gap fill thing is insane.
yeah, yeah.
That saved me hours when I was younger of, like, when
Oh
I
my
was doing
gosh.
all the stuff by hand in Photoshop, I would have to try and find backgrounds that will fit everywhere and have all the things in them, and I'd be cutting and copying
Yes.
and pasting and
No,
fading
that
stuff
took me 2
out.
seconds.
Yeah, like,
Isn't that
that's
great?
insane.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that it used to take me before all these tools came out, it would take me 4 to 6 hours to make one really pro thumbnail.
Yeah,
Now we're able to get it done in 30 minutes, which means we can
yeah.
just be that much more efficient. And I love it because the more thumbnails I make, the more I learn about different niches. Because I have the benefit of being on the other side of this where I'm working with dozens of creators and dozens of
Mm,
client or a lot of corporate companies too I work for and their channels and stuff. And so I get to see different niches on YouTube and learn what works and what doesn't work. And so it's really fun. And these tools allow us to be just so much faster. But yeah, so I'm going to remove the gavel. So I
yeah.
just switched over to the lasso tool. I like using this one. It's called the polygonal lasso tool. You can see how it allows me to just with one click create these kind of shapes and stuff. I just click once, it creates a point, and then I can drag it however I want wherever. It's just more convenient than the normal lasso tool where I'm literally drawing like it's a paintbrush now,
Yep.
and that can get a little messy because I'm just using a mouse. I'm not using like a an iPad or something. So I'll select this thing. I'm gonna hit generative fill, and then I'm just gonna say remove. And so
Yep.
again, it's still just that simple, and it should remove that object, and it does it fairly quickly. It's all dependent on your internet speed because it is going up to the cloud to do this. Yeah, so there
Mm.
you go. So there's 1, 2, 3 options.
Oh,
So there you go. So again, I'm gonna toggle on my rule of thirds grid. Now again, I don't like this little thing over here in the corner. So you see how I'm going over her jacket because I want it to remove this object, but still keep the edge of the jacket intact. So I had the selection go into her jacket a bit. So I'm just gonna again say remove, and it's able to understand enough of what I'm saying. And I'm not even trying to really make this that good of a selection. It's pretty rough because
yeah.
it's able to just do it pretty well. There you go. So it's gone,
Okay.
right?
Oh,
So now we've got a nice clean base here. But again, I don't like the background. It looks too fake, but that's fixable with bokeh, which is the lens blur effect. Also, I do want to have the freedom to move her around, so I'll show you how I do that. There's a hotkey that we teach in Thumbnail Academy. It's Shift Command Option E. Okay, so it's a lot of buttons, but what that just did is it created like a mix down of that layer. So now I have, if I turn off all these other layers, you'll see it's just one layer now, which is nice. So I'm going to select, you can see the select subject tool like
mhm.
that. Boom. And you can see how quickly it selected all the edges so beautifully, so perfectly.
Yeah.
Her hair's not perfect, but that's okay because it's not like we're gonna cut and paste her on a different background. We're gonna cut and paste her on this exact same background. So if there's little edges here and there from the previous background, it's fine. It'll blend into itself. So I'm gonna basically hit Command C. I'm on a Mac, which is copy. So whatever your copy is, and then I hit Command V, which is paste. And you can see there I now have her isolated.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna do it again. So I'm gonna hit Subject Select. I go up to Help because I don't know where this is. I never took the time to learn where this is, but I know it's called expand. Where is it? Modify, expand. Okay, I always forget. And that's where the help tool comes in. Is what's that tool? I know it's here, but I don't know where to find it. You just type it and it'll find it for you. So
Oh,
there's
lovely.
expand. I usually expand by 7 or 10 pixels. And you'll see here, watch, it takes that selection and expands it out. So if I zoom in, you'll see now the selection has gone a little bit outside of the bounds of her hair. You can see how it's like a couple
Yeah,
pixels
okay, great.
outside of her jacket. That's what you want to remove her from the background. If I didn't do that, I just hit undo. There's like little edges of her jacket that aren't selected. There's little edges of her hair that aren't selected.
Yeah,
And if I said remove this object, those little slivers of her jacket and those little slivers of her hair would still be there. So it'd be like everything vanished and then just the little outline of her body is still there.
yeah.
In fact, I noticed that her hair was still not fully removed there. So I'm going to expand even more. So I'm just going to go to I'll do 20. There you go.
Yep.
Perfect. So that cleaned it up. I noticed when I was zooming in that some of her hair was actually still, in fact, there you go. Some of her hair right there is even still getting covered up a bit. So there you go. So now the selection is outside of her for the most part. I could have done that by
Mm.
hand a little bit more crudely, but I just like doing this. I hit generative fill, hit remove, and now it's going to give me a nice clean background, which is really crucial because now I took one flat image that was just a JPEG that was generated in AI in the first place, and now I've been able to expand the set in the direction that I wanted it. There you go. See, so she's gone now.
Wow.
And now I've got a clean asset to work with, and there she is, right, as an additional layer. But
Wow.
now as a human, I can decide where I wanna put her, right?
Yep.
And that's crucial, and that's I think these steps that I just took are what is needed to really see yourself more as an artist and have more intentionality. Because AI certainly does the thing really well, but there's just little things that it misses, and it basically just misses the mark often. It's just a little off on the composition, or I don't know, I can't say it any other way other than it doesn't have taste because it's not a human. So it's just it
Yep.
doesn't think the way we think artistically. I believe in God, and I believe God created us in his image to be creative people. And AI doesn't have that. AI was not made in God's image. So it will just simply never have the ability to truly create. It'll have the illusion of creation, but it will not
Mm.
actually be creative like you. So if anything, that's hopefully a hopeful thought is like at the end of the day, as humans, we are creatures and beings with a soul and a lot and purpose, whereas AI is just simulating and emulating souls with purposes. It doesn't actually have a soul or a purpose, obviously. But there's my philosophical rant. So
Sure.
now I'm going to do that mix down again, which is Shift Command Option E on a Mac. And again, what it did is it created an image blending all those layers. Now, check this out. I'm going to go into Filter, Camera Raw, and I know this is overwhelming. This is a fire hose of information. There's no way you guys are going to remember all these steps. Again, that's why we built Thumbnail Academy. It's a full multi-hour course beginning to end to teach you everything you need to know about this. You can always refer back to it and whatnot. But if I scroll down here, this is another AI tool built into Photoshop called Lens Blur, and it's using AI to determine what objects should be in focus and what objects should be out of focus, and it applies a gradual blur to the background, unlike how we used to do it back in the day where you would just do a Gaussian blur to the whole background. Everything is blurry here.
If you want to watch the entire episode, click here. And if you want to watch more episodes like this, click here.